What were your best memories of school?
None.
That's sad.
Who was your best friend in school?
Nelly Hines.
What games did you play in school?
Catch and tick and what else do we do? Hide and go seek, I suppose.
What was your favourite subject?
Irish, maybe.
Were you mischief in school?
Oh no, I was very good.
How many teachers were there in the school?
2.
What was walking to school like?
Great.
Did you get a lot of homework?
No.
That's not a question, yeah. Why didn't you like school out of interest? Because you're not the only one to say that, anyway.
Oh, it was terrible. I started school at 4.5.
4.5 years of age?
4.5 years of age, which is very young. Well, they couldn't keep track of me at home, so it wasn't, November or September that time you could go any time. So I was, that was in 1940. So I was sent off and I came down through the fields, to school through the fields. And some of the older girls used to carry me. But that was to the old school. And when I go to sleep at school, he used to put a rug around me that time, all right. But when he was able to belt me, I couldn't. It was all the money tables. I was in dread of that for a few years. But I was outside in the middle room there, and he put me outside the window to say the tables, and he opened the window. It was summer's day. And I was abroad and I split up and crying. And I came in and he kicked me out of school. And I went around the road and I waited for the rest of them, and I never told it when I went home because my father had swore vengeance that he'd go down and kill him. Do you know?
Yeah.
But he'd keep lashing you. He had his, what he would say to you, oh, you poor ass, you double-barreled Ramadan, oh, you fool, I'll make you. Hold out your hands. We must be all shaking.
And were you farmers up the road here? Was
Yeah.
it?
No, we went past over that way now we went. And we went up across the fields, we went in a boring up there, we went across the fields then.
And would you not wear shoes in the summer?
No shoes in the summer, and boots in the winter. Yeah. And socks that our mothers knitted.
And the that was the war, so rationing was big at the time.
It was, yeah. We wouldn't get tea, we'd only get milk. There was no such thing as we getting tea, and we had to, that was for the adults. And we'd have a job every evening when we come home then.
Would he teach you any singing or dancing?
Oh, he was great. He was a great teacher. He was a great Irish teacher. And he taught us an awful lot of songs. Nish Tartanari, Mom Shuslancha, Hadi Enemish, Festigan Image, and I was Misharafter and Phila. He was a great Irish teacher, but he had no patience. And the worst thing of all, like, he'd be ignoring children. Put you out of the class and put you down. And if you went in the next morning, then you went into the one you were, he wouldn't notice it. You know, but he has cycled in the 30s now out from Lahray, from Knockanima. Will we ever forget it? And then he got a green baby Ford. We all knew it. But he was good for the good students, but he had no patience.
Yeah,
you know.
So we concentrate on the good ones and the others.
Yeah, ignoring them. I mean, that was a terrible thing. You know, tell you about how we come down across to school, and we knew all the fields. We had them all marked out. You know, we knew who owned them, and we'd go out by the old cemetery in Carramore. That was the graveyard that time, and we go through this farm yard, and in the evenings when we'd be coming back home. We'd go into Mrs. Ford for a cup of water. Now she had to get the water out of the bucket, bring it, put it into the well, you know, and she'd give us all a cup of water. And in the harvest time, then when the apples would be ripe, she would come out. Did you ever hear the skib scab? She'd have a bucket of apples, and she'd throw them. Skib scab, we used to call that. And we'd all nearly kill one another to fight for the apples. And there was another house where there was a man who was a dummy. And we'd go in, stay in the apples there, and he'd come out after us. And he'd say, we'd run for our lives, we're afraid of our lives. And we used to come down then, and we had 3 ways. We used to, in the summertime, we'd come down through Dublin, and we used to come out over the wall just opposite the school here. And in the evening, when we were going home, there was a lad there, and he'd tie red ribbons and rags on him, and he'd lie in the flaggers, and he'd get up, and he was frightened and life in us. We thought he was bleeding. We go home, we called him Deaf Dick.
Did you play any hurling or camogie?
Huh?
Any hurling or camogie?
No, we had no camogie.
Did the boys?
No, I don't think so. They hadn't.
There was no sports for girls, no?
There wasn't. No.
Would the lads be favourites or the girls?
And we'd go around about the roads then, and there was this man, and he'd come. He'd usually come of a Thursday maybe, and to collect some of his family. And he had a lovely pony and trap, and he'd load all of us he could up in the trap. And we'd go up to what we call Carrabane Cross, and he'd let us off there. And we'd boot over the road to the forge. There was a forge there. We'd go in there and make a nuisance of ourselves to there until about 10 years later roars and we'd all running in for our lives. But we fought, or there was no such thing as going home. If there was something, you fought your own battle, like, then we, there was no such thing as going home telling because you get no heed.
And when you got home, did you have to do a lot of work on the farm?
We used to have to do it in the evening. That'd be the first thing we'd ask, what are we to do this evening? We used to have to do the weeding, and weeding the potatoes, and then thinning turnips, and the hay then. Well, that would be, we were taught in school at that time,
So you never went hungry anyway if you grew your own vegetables and had your own cattle, sheep.
And another thing we used to, for the children, when there'd be a station in the village,
yes.
In the morning, the children would be invited for the currant cake in the evening. So we came home very quick that evening.
That was a special treat.
That was a special treat.
Yeah.
But sure, the visiting was there, and we could go into the neighbours' houses. And
would you have a Cayley or a Hoolie at the weekends, would it, in different houses?
No. Well, it would later on, but as we got older, there'd be Emer Street.
Yeah.
But there'd be certain houses that we could go into, and we'd get whatever was going.
And when you were 14, where would you meet the lads? Where?
But sure, there wasn't anywhere where you'd go. It was just the same thing. There might be a dance, but sure, we wouldn't be let. We wouldn't be let out of property. We were nearly as far as we are today.
But when you had, say, the music in the kitchen at weekend, would all ages come along?
No, to be kind of for the older group, there'd be 18 and that age group,
But was it expected that everybody was supposed to have a party piece? You had to do singing or poetry or something?
No, not really,